AI is going to change all of our businesses. It's going to change your business. It's going to change your end user's business. But how do we make sure, A, that the MSP is the one where AI is coming through, and B, we capitalize on it as soon as we possibly can? Good morning, everybody. Are we excited to be here? It's day one, right? We're in the Acronis security stage. Where else would you want to be in the world right now? My name is Rob Ray. I am the Corporate Vice President of Communities for Pax8. I want to introduce you to our organization. I want to talk a little bit about what we're working on, but I don't want to spend my time talking about Pax8, because when I get these opportunities to speak in front of MSPs, in front of the channel, in front of our ecosystem, the last thing I want to do is pitch. Instead, I want to talk about specific trends. Like, my job literally is to travel around the world and do presentations like this, engage with MSPs. So I get the opportunity to talk to tens of thousands of MSPs every single year. And one of the powers of this community is that we can take all of this feedback and all of this learning and all the things that you guys are doing, find the best practices, what's working, what's not working, and be able to bring it here, and at least in the next 18 and a half minutes, give you some type of content on something that you can run away with for your business. So that is my goal today. As I mentioned, though, I do have to introduce you to Pax8 before I do that. So Pax8 has been around for about 10 years now. It was originally started in the United States. It has expanded. We're now have offices in 35 different countries, including throughout all of Europe. So we are very, very, first of all, blessed to be here, and second of all, very invested in this actual market. But one of the things that's kind of at the core of what we do is we like to disrupt the market. We like to change it. We like to keep moving it forward. We like to push and innovate and be like really, really new on some of the thinking that we've got. So we talk a lot about disruption. How can we continue to disrupt the market? And we started in 2017, where we actually changed the way in which distribution is done. We stopped everything else we were doing and focused exclusively on the managed services, the small, medium business market. We only sell to managed service providers in the channel. These are big bets that we actually made, and we only do SaaS. We don't touch hardware. So we are actually continuing to move that forward, and as a result, we've become the largest cloud marketplace in the world for managed service providers. So we've made that investment, and we continue to do that. Disrupting distribution, right? Leaving that behind, moving forward, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what marketplace actually looks like. Quick intro again to Pax8. We have over 150 vendors that are actually in our marketplace, all SaaS, all have channel programs, all working with managed service providers. We have over 47,000 MSPs that are using us as well, and we make significant investments into our community. Because we're focused exclusively on the growth of managed service providers, we have a phenomenal team called our Academy team that does great training, education, growth for the managed service provider. So if that's something you're interested in, would love to talk to you about that. We have a stand downstairs. We have a phenomenal team that is here. Where are they? Are they here? My team? Oh, they said they were going to be here. Bad team. But they are working really hard at the booth right now, so definitely go down and see them there. We also do some professional services. We've got a great program called Locate, all these things I would love to chat to you about. But again, I want to kind of skip into what we're going to talk about, which is going to be AI and the wonders of AI. And I know you guys, some of you, this is your first day at the conference. Some of you have been here for a couple days. That's all you hear about these days is AI. But hopefully I'm going to give you a little bit of a different spin on it. 2023, we decided to disrupt the market again. You know, I mentioned that we were on this journey to move away from being a traditional distributor and actually start thinking about what is the market, where is the market going. So we created a marketplace. Now, I know a lot of the companies that are out there, a lot of the disties out there are using this marketplace term, right? But what is the difference between an actual marketplace and just using it as a catchphrase? And I want to show you what that looks like. First of all, why? Everything has changed. The way in which we buy and consume things, and this includes your end users, it has changed the way in which they want to buy from you, what they want to buy from you, and how they want to buy from you. It's all changing, and we need to evolve this as well. Some of the education, some of the content that is coming out these days is saying that your end users are actually making IT decisions 2 months before they're even calling you. And it wasn't that long ago, 2018, 2019, cybersecurity, everybody's selling it. It's risky, it's dangerous. Finally, the small business market is getting it. and they're saying, hey, anything IT, call my MSP. I don't want anything to do with it. That's changed. That has changed. There's an old adage that says, you have to touch a prospect 7 to 9 times in order for them to buy something from you. That number's been updated to about 20 to 30. And that is because of how much information is available for them out there in the market. Blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos, everything is now available. It's more than just having conversations with your sales team. So as a result, these people think that they can go and do research on their own, and we all know that there's a lot of really bad information out there. There's a lot of people that say things and do things, so they're doing their own research, and they're not talking to you in the early stages of this. So how do we change that? How do we put the MSP back in front of all of the prospects, back in front of IT, so that we as a community are the experts for everything? $47 trillion will go through a marketplace. This is overall spending. As human beings, we like to click on things more so than talk to other human beings. That is where the ball is going, and that is what we are developing at Pax8. 83% of B2B business owners want to have a digital experience. They don't want to talk to your salespeople. They don't want to sit through your demos. I used this example yesterday in my panel. There's going to be about 40, 50 vendors that are here. How many of you guys are excited about getting on demo calls with all of them on Monday next week? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get all these phone calls. Anybody have time for that? Anybody excited about that? Come on, there's always one person that goes, yay, I love doing demos. Nobody? Fair. Good, because it's not true. Your end users are no different. They don't want to talk to you either. They don't want to talk to your salespeople. They don't want to hear the pitch. So how do we get research? If you guys want to buy a new technology, you want to switch backups, you want to switch RMMs, you talk to each other. You go to the internet, you do research. You don't get on demos with every RMM company. You narrow it down to a couple, and then you do that. But imagine if you could make those decisions, get that information at your fingertips. That's what your end users want as well when it comes to IT purchases. So we want to do this. We want to disrupt this market again, and that's why we launched our marketplace. Now, let me just give you a couple of examples of what a marketplace actually is. One of the things that we are doing is we've built AI through all of this. So we have something like a lens that's called Opportunity Explorer. So what happens is AI is now looking at your information. One of the great things about where we sit in the ecosystem is how much data we actually have. I have data about you, about your end users, what they're buying, when they're buying, how much they're spending, all of your competitors, all of the people that don't even work with Pax8. We have all this information. How do we leverage this information to help you sell more stuff, to actually find and have better experiences with your end users? So Opportunity Explorer is a perfect thing like that. AI goes in, it searches it, it says, here's some gaps, here's some problems. You sold this to these people, but not to these people. And then it can help you make that leap from that perspective where it's actually finding upsell opportunities for you. 20% of our partners have started using this. Half of them have already found an upsell opportunity they did not know about. So there is money to be had in there. There's things that we've all missed. There's things that we can go back and do. Now, I mentioned that buyerless, the salesperson-less experience that your end users are looking for. That comes through what's called storefronts. What you do is you set up your own marketplace on your website. So your end users will go in there and do research. They will look at all the different products and services that you got, even ones that aren't on my marketplace. So you can put all of your SKUs, all of your custom SKUs, you can put your entire stack, you can put a la carte, you can put your own services, your own project work, whatever, in there as a SKU, so they go in and start shopping. Because we all much prefer to go to Amazon and buy stuff than we do to go to a store and buy stuff. That's just the way we are as humans. That's just the way the next generation wants to do this as well. Gen Zers do not want to talk to you. I have 4 of them at home. They don't want to talk to me. They hate human engagement. They just want to do it the way they want to do it. But again, let's put the MSP at the front. This is where storefronts comes in. Here's the beautiful part about this. As your end user is sitting there playing around in the storefront, clicking on stuff, reading stuff, downloading stuff, you can see everything that they are doing. You know exactly what they're interested in. How long did they spend on a particular page? How long did they spend looking at a particular product or service that you've got? So now when you have a conversation with them, it can be narrowed in and very specific about what it is that they're actually doing. This is not distribution. Disties are not doing this. This is what Pax8 and Marketplace are actually doing. We have a ton of innovation that's coming up. We have an integrations hub in there, so we have all the integrations that are set up within those, all the different integrations that you're using. But I want to move on to AI. Now let's talk about AI. Now every single vendor is talking about AI. Every single vendor is talking about what they are doing with AI to help build their products up. And we have some cool stuff that we're doing within the marketplace that does that. The Model Context Protocol servers, the MCP servers, all built in, so you can query your own data. So we have all that stuff. But I want to talk about what you are doing. I want to talk about how you are going to go to market with AI. Because we're on this verge of this crazy wave, another disruption moment. And we all know, and I don't think anybody would disagree with me, that AI is going to change all of our businesses. It's going to change your business. It's going to change your end user's business. But how do we make sure, A, that the MSP is the one where AI is coming through, and B, we capitalize on it as soon as we possibly can, because it is coming. So I want to introduce you, some of you, to a new term potentially called managed intelligence. We all have revenue streams within our businesses. We sell cloud, we sell SaaS, we sell cybersecurity. Managed intelligence is going to be the revenue stream around AI. And there's going to be a lot of things that are actually going to change. I want to go back and talk about this. This is Jay McBain from Canalys, right? Jay talks about these particular moments in IT where our lives changed radically. We're constantly finding new stuff, right? There's new technology, new innovation, things like that that are coming. Great example, look at Roost, another great company that is sponsoring here. 5 years ago, nobody was using RPA. Now everybody is. So we're going to continue to see that. But let's talk about the big waves. For those of you that have been in business for a long time now, we've seen these big moment changes, including how managed services was actually born. So Jay talks about it like this. Imagine you can have a conversation with Bill Gates in 1982 about hardware, a PC in every home, a PC in every workplace. Imagine if you leaned into that conversation with Bill Gates in 1982 rather than waiting until the 90s, late 80s, 90s before we started selling hardware, you would have made a lot more money. You would have been way ahead of it. You probably wouldn't be in this room. You'd probably be on your island somewhere. Cloud, Satya Nadella was talking about cloud in 2002. We all didn't start adopting to cloud until about 2006, 2007, sometimes even later, before we started doing that migration towards no devices. Cybersecurity, Kevin Mitnick was talking about ransomware in 2014. We didn't start talking about it with our end users till 2017, 2018. We wait too long. We wait for these technologies to come to us, right? It goes to enterprise first, and then we have to wait for it to dribble down to us. Not anymore. AI is going to be that game changer. AI is built for small businesses. AI is built for this particular channel to be able to do it. But we have to think about how our businesses are going to change. I'm going to give you 2 reports here before the end of this. One report is called the Agentic Inflection Point. This is the why we all need to start thinking about AI and how it's going to change our business. The other report I'm going to give you, I'll introduce it in a moment, but it's going to be the how, which is the playbook on how to have the conversation with your end users. What should you be saying? What should you be thinking about? How do you prep your teams for what is about to happen? Because your world isn't about solution providing anymore. We're going to become builders. Let me dig into that a little bit. So we are predicting that at some point, AI will literally take over every product that you're selling. It'll have some component into everything that you are doing. You will be leveraging it every single day for your end users, for your own businesses. So we anticipate that we will all become managed intelligence providers. We're already starting to see this term out there. And we need to get ahead of this. But again, lots of things that we need to think about, and we've written a playbook to help you do that. Because this journey, it's scary. Change is always hard. And by the way, all of us are still very much at the beginning of this. I know there's some MSPs that have gotten a little more mature and have started doing this, but most of this market is still behind. Not behind, just getting started. And that's okay. It's okay because that's where we all are at this particular moment, including a lot of the vendors. We don't know how we're all going to make money at this. We just know that there will be money to be made. This is why we have to have these conversations. Your businesses are going to change. They're going to transform. The services that you provide are going to change. The way in which your end users need you and want you is going to change. The way in which you buy technology when you come to an event such as this. What are you looking for? What are you looking for in an actual vendor? What is it that they actually do? What are some of the things that they do for you to help you sell this stuff? All that's going to change. I'm anticipating that next year, if you come to this event next year, that vendor hall will probably be twice the size, and most of it will be AI companies you have never heard of before. That's how fast this is coming. That's how fast we are finding these opportunities. The way in you sell it, what your end user needs from you, the services that you can provide, who are you selling to within your end users, all of this needs to be rethought. And you guys are going to be builders. You're not going to be selling other people's stuff. You are actually going to build and customize technology using AI for your end users, maybe on a per end user basis, maybe it's a per vertical basis, but you will be building, your teams will be building. That adds more value to you, to your service, to what you provide to your end user, therefore more revenue from you, from them, and stickiness. They will never be able to leave you because they need those services to continue. We had our trade show, our user conference in Amsterdam. We had 1,100 MSPs in Amsterdam 2 weeks ago. One of the courses that we had there was teaching MSPs how to build agents. Standing room only. We had like 400 of the 1,000 people in that room because we're all trying to figure out how we can continue to do this. How do we move forward? And then finally, management. The MSP is going to be critical to make sure that we continue to manage these things ongoing. AI doesn't replace us. AI gives us more things to actually do, but the key is change. And then how do we make money? One of the things in the report I'm going to give you is going to talk about the monetization of this, because there's no point in doing any of this if we can't figure out how to make money. But the way we sell today is changing. It's not going to be a per seat, might be a per agent, probably a per outcome. I got a great example of this. I ran into an MSP about 3-4 months ago who did a project for an end user in Australia. This MSP went to their end user and said, I'm going to do a productivity scan in your environment, and I'm going to look for, using AI, I'm going to look for opportunities to save you money, find efficiency within your business. They quoted the project for $10,000, Australian dollars. They found $1.5 million of savings per year for that company. $1.5 million of savings, $10,000 project. They left money on the table, for sure. You should be taking half of that, at least. So we got to start thinking about how we price this, how we're going to make money at this, and this is what our playbook does for you. The key to this, again, is keeping the MSP at the center of everything, because there are risks. There's a new vertical that's coming up. There's some new companies that are leading with AI. I alone got calls from about 2 different UK private equity companies that are trying to figure out how to go to your end users with AI. We got to make sure they don't bypass us. We got to make sure that we are the experts. The managed service providers are the experts when it comes to AI, so that we can continue to maintain those relationships, because that's what you've got. You own the relationship with your end users. I talked about MCP, how it's been built into our technology. We're going to continue to work with technologies like this so you can actually query the data. I mentioned we have an incredible amount of data. Imagine you could query it. Imagine you could actually talk to it. Bring your own flavor of AI, plug your question into our MCP server. It queries the data that you have so you can have better conversations. Look for better upsell opportunities. This is how AI is influencing our business. This is how it's going to influence what you're doing with your end users. We actually went as far as to build what we call recipes. So there's like 30 common questions or queries that MSPs would typically ask of its data. You're going to have more information, insight into your end users than ever before. So we have a ton of these recipes that we've actually written already, and if you're a Pax8 partner, you already have access to all of this at no charge. MCP has been built into the integrations hub, so you can build out your own integrations between different technologies that you're actually using. We're going to get to a point where we're going to create an agent store where you can actually share it with other MSPs, or even potentially sell integrations to other MSPs that you've potentially built. So that is a marketplace. This is not disty, right? This is marketplace. This is how everything is moving forward. This is how the MSP channel is going to move forward, and the conversations with your end users. All right, let me give you something. I'm going to give you 2 reports here. I'm going to pop up 2 QR codes in a moment. First QR code is going to be that managed intelligence report, right? The why we all need to be doing this. It's an incredibly comprehensive report, and here's what I recommend you do with it. I recommend that you get it and you give it to your teams. Don't say anything to them. Just say, we want to go on an AI journey. Tell me what you think. Read this and tell me what you think. And it'll be incredible how people will come back to you. Because we have to look at this not just from a technology standpoint, but your go-to-market strategy. What's marketing going to do? What's sales going to do? How do we open this conversation up? We have to think about all the different aspects of this. So I want to give you that report. Here's the QR codes. So you can download the report, send it to your teams, and challenge them. What do you think? And again, you'll be surprised at what they come back with and say, hey, I think we should go on this journey, or hey, here's some really cool ideas, or hey, here's how I think we should have these conversations. The second QR code is what we're calling a guided growth assessment. Remember I mentioned we're all on this journey, but we're all at different stages of readiness for this journey. What that QR code does, the take one, there, what that QR code will do is it'll actually give you an assessment. This is free, by the way. You don't have to be a Pax8 partner. I'm not going to have salespeople call you or anything like that. What it'll do is it'll assess you on where you are on your journey compared to other MSPs, but we can also make recommendations. We already have a library of about 300 training courses through our Academy team that can help you on that journey, whatever aspect it is that you're short. And I'm going to give you one more. So I told you that this report, the download, that report is the why we all need to be doing this. This report just came out. We launched this in Amsterdam. This report is the how. This is has a little bit more guts to it. Again, we took our 47,000 partners, found the MSPs that are really advancing from an AI perspective, and we put it into a report, again, very comprehensive report on what you should do next. Because this journey is something that we are all going to be on. It's something that's inevitable. It's something that we can't slow down or stop, but it is something we can lean into, take advantage of, and really create more opportunities and value for everything that we are all doing in this market. And Pax8 wants to be the guide. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, if you have anything, if you need these reports, you don't want to click on QR codes, come by my booth. I got a phenomenal team who will absolutely help you out, and I'm looking forward to spending the next day with you guys. Enjoy your event. Thank you very much.
Because I just want you to do something. Yesterday, you were on the Acronis stage yesterday for Acronis 2 Security Day, right?
Yes.
But you said something else, and I'm not sure if you hammered it hard enough here, and I would like you to repeat it, if that was okay.
Sure, what was it?
Yeah, you said...
I say a lot of intelligent things.
Well, that's the rumor.
I say a lot of dumb things.
But you said that, and because this is meaningful to this audience and to me from an economics standpoint, I'll take that for you.
I'm not clicking it, I promise. I can see it all.
You want to. I can feel you want to, though. So you said that the SMB market, for the first time ever, is outstripping the enterprise market. Just hit that stat for me one more time.
Yeah, sure. So this is IDC data, right? So looking at technology spend, the small medium business market is $777 billion US. That means that is opportunity for us. That is SMB tech spend, $777 billion US dollars. I think that works out to €1 trillion. That was a joke about the US dollar sucking. I'm sorry. That is now above the enterprise spend, right? So there is more money in SMB tech than there is in enterprise for the first time in history. That means that our market opportunity is larger than it ever has been before, and that continues to grow.
That's our win zone. I just wanted you to hit that again because it was meaningful to me, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, thanks, Rob. Thank you. Rob Ray, everybody.
Part of the show.